Game Day continues with Aggie Call. Your chance to talk about today's game. Sponsored by Alpine Home Medical, Advanced Heating and Air Conditioning, Les Olson Company, Jarek's Fine Jewelry, My Mattress, Elements Restaurant, Cache Valley Bank, Castelite, Daryl's Appliance, Advanced Fireplace and Stove, Cache Valley Ear, Nose and Throat, White Pine Funeral Home, S.E. Needham Jewelers, and LSS Insurance. KVNU Game Day with Al Lewis and John Russell.
And hi, everybody. And the Aggies do make it a Merry Christmas as they come back from the loss to Iowa, and they take care of the Portland State Vikings tonight, 81-62. Lead by about 20 most of the whole second half of this basketball game. And so Utah State does get to 9-4 on the preseason. John, you were up there for a while, and in the Spectrum, what did you see in tonight's game?
Yeah, just stuck around long enough to make sure the Aggies were going to be okay. Good crowd. Missed the students there, but the regular attendees did a good job filling the arena. And Aggies came out a little sluggish, but they turned things around and took care of business.
Sure did start off sluggish. What was it, 8-0 at the start of the game? They missed their first 4 shots. Then they went on a 9-0 run, and then we kind of went back and forth a little bit there for a while. There were 3 ties, 5 lead changes, and then eventually the Aggies on a 12-2 run got it out to a 7-point lead. It built to 10 on a 3-pointer by Shulga from almost back court, across the backcourt line, tried to pass it down to the other end. Eventually they decided at the half it was a 3-point shot. Led 42-29 at the break, and then took off basically a 10-0 run after they got the first basket of the second half, and the Aggies were up 20 points really the rest of the game. So 81-62, and Justin Bean. We saw him, even with a bad ankle, really produce tonight.
Well, I'm awfully glad we're kind of running into a little break here. He's going to get a little more time to rest it. But, boy, he was phenomenal tonight, playing with confidence, deadly from beyond the arc. Yeah. We got a new top 3-point shooter in him.
We do.
And, no, they look good. It was a good performance, came out of it healthy. It was great to see Bairstow back after that scary injury. We kind of were all wondering if that
the last time it was
that could have been it. Yeah.
Jalen Moore joins with us tonight after the game as well. Jalen, first time we've had to change the starting lineup because I guess Brock Miller, I'm guessing bad back. I do not know about what's going on with R.J. Idlerock. He didn't practice yesterday, and I don't know exactly. He was one time rubbing his foot, or they were working on his foot, but then he also didn't look like he was particularly well. But hey, Max Shulga got a chance to start, and he really shined, didn't he, tonight?
Yeah, I thought that was a good point of emphasis for him to come in and produce like he did. He looked good. He wasn't getting a ton of time even, and for him to come in and step into that role and do an 18-7 game in his one of his first starts and look good doing it, I thought it was great. Like you guys touched on, Bean looked good. 5 for 5 from deep, 11 for 15, his double again. He looked good. His ankle looked like it's feeling good, but I bet he can't wait for a little bit of time off. He's been playing a lot of minutes. But, yeah, you really can't complain about this game. Our team looked really good all around. You want to look at some stuff to pinpoint, like maybe get better free throw percentage. We're still 50% still not good enough for our team. And then other than that, you look at turnovers, maybe a little less turnovers. But other than that, when you shoot 59%, 57 from 3, 40 rebounds pretty much and 25 assists. Our team's looking pretty good, and we only hold them to 62 points. So can't really complain. Our team looked good, and that's good morale boost going into the break and starting conference play next week.
Our keys that we talked about before the game, Jalen, a lot, we were talking about the team's defense and the team rebounding. And you know what? Other guys helped Justin Bean rebound tonight. Look at Horvath with 9, Shulga with 7, even 4 out of Rylan Jones in the game. And then the defense. After they got that little bit of a start at the rest of the game, I mean, the Aggies' defense was really, really good against a team that does have some guys individually that can do some things.
Yeah, we looked really good, and we started off a little bit slow. And our defense was kind of lacking at the beginning, but we picked it up. We held their top score to 13 points, and so we did a good job. We kept John Murray that gets a double-double. He only had 13 and 5. Like you said, our team just did all-around good job rebounding the ball. We got back to our old ways, out-rebounding people 11, 12. Yeah, we look good. I think that's a big win that we needed going into the break to get a big morale boost, get some confidence back in our guys, and be ready to go.
So, Jalen, yeah, definitely something different this year. If you're up at the Spectrum, different lineup than we've seen. Again, from my understanding, Brock's back is bothering him, but we're not sure about.
We're guessing on
Idle
that.
Rock.
Yeah, and we're guessing about right. I mean, technically we're guessing, but I think his back is hurting him.
But with this lineup, I really like seeing Bairstow and Shulga on the court together. Was there anything that really stood out to you in what we saw on the court tonight?
Yeah, there's a few things. Like you said, I like Bairstow. I like him. I really do like Bairstow off the bench. I think he's like a spark plug guy when him and Ashworth. Now, they threw Ashworth in the starting lineup, and so we kind of needed a spark plug guy to fill in that spot. I like Bairstow. We've talked about him a lot. He can be. I think he can be our second, third scorer that we need to go to in games whenever we need a bucket after Bean, obviously. So, for him to come back from that injury, he had to miss 2 games. Didn't really seem like he missed a step. He looked really good, and we touched on it too. I thought Shulga 18-7 and 3 in his first start, went 6 for 8, 3 for 5 from 3. He looked good. He went out there like he's been a starter all season, and I think that's going to be good for him. That's going to increase his minutes because they know that he can produce. And then the last thing that we touched on, like going 5 for 5 for Justin Bean from 3-point line is just crazy. How far he's came with his shot. He used to shoot them, but just wasn't very consistent. And now he's shooting 5 for 5. He's looking really good, and his shot's smooth. He's not. I mean, he's shooting almost like 50% from 3 this year, so he's looking really good.
He's 17 of 30 from 3 right now. How about that? Go ahead.
Unbelievable. He was phenomenal tonight. Wanted to ask you about Horvath and your thoughts on him. Pretty solid line. We talked about 9 and 9. He also had 7
9 and 7.
I mean, that's crazy. Are you seeing him doing something different in his game, or do you think he's just getting used to playing at this level all the time, every night?
Yeah, I think he's just getting used to playing at it. Like 9.97 is a really good stat line from your starting center. I like his game, I really do. Like he can stretch the floor out and he can shoot threes. But if his three's not falling, he was getting and ones, he put it on the court, on the ground a few times, was able to finish at the rim. I like it. He's smart. He can see good. He makes good passes to cutters, and I like it. I really like big guys that can, shoot threes, but at the same time, he's really crafty and he can score around the rim as well. But I think he's just getting comfortable. 9.97 looks good. And the crazy thing is, like, him scoring 9 is like a lower end of scoring game for him. So we know that he is going to consistently produce, and that's kind of what me and Al were talking about before the game. Is just Bairstow's been consistent since he's been back. Horvath has been consistent. Bean, we keep those guys consistent and get it sprinkling a few other guys here with what they're capable of. Our team's going to look really good come conference play.
You can tell Horvath used to be a point guard at one time, though, can't you? with his size, how he grew, Jalen. I mean, he said he sprung from 5'9" to 6'3", 6'3" to 6'7", and he was always a point guard, so that was his mentality that he had, and I think we could see that a little bit in how he likes to play and all these things. So, Jalen, let's check your keys to the game tonight after the Aggies again win at 81-62 over Portland State, and they were supposed to win by about 18.5, I think was and they win by
pretty close.
They win by 19. You don't think those guys in Vegas don't know what they're doing? That's amazing. Again, speaking of people know what they're doing, White Pine Funeral Services, always a tough spot for families, and they can help you with, again, families in tough situations, again, high-quality services, great services, the headstones, the pre-planning, all of your funeral services from whitepinefunerals.com. So you talked about, I think the Aggies actually pushed the pace in this game. They were the team that kind of pushed the pace and wanted to play faster, and it probably benefited Utah State.
Yeah, I liked it. Like I said, whether we wanted to slow the game down or play a faster pace, as long as we just controlled the pace and did what we wanted to do and what our game plan was, is exactly what it looked like we went out and executed tonight. We wanted to play a little bit faster, so that's what we did. And, we ended up getting a 20-point win. So we can play fast, we can play slow, and I think it just kind of comes down to the game plan and strategy that Coach decides on before the game.
Defense has to improve. You talked about that before the game, and we hold them to 34%, 30% from 3, about what their season averages. In fact, less from the field, and we only gave them 62 points, so we did a pretty good job in that area tonight without 2 starters.
Yeah, it looked good. Our defense was on point. We knew that we couldn't let these guys score 70, 75 points. They weren't able to. They were shooting in the 30s. Yeah, like I said, you really can't ask for much more of an offensive or defensive game from our team tonight.
And then we've already talked about it, the help for Bean. I think we saw that tonight in the Shulga and Bairstow and what some of these other people did. You mentioned that as the other thing. So it's Air Force for the conference opener. You've been in that situation before. It'll be, again, nobody will be there. for the game because it'll be during the break, and even the cadets will be home. And it'll be an afternoon game next Wednesday is when it will be. And you know exactly, Jalen, right off the bat, that will not be an easy situation, even though they got beat tonight 67-45, and they've lost 3 games in a row. When they played a little better teams, Air Force that hasn't had the record. But this A.J. Walker has been really scoring great for them. So, but again, you just kind of know that we better get ready to go there next Wednesday, right?
Yeah, and, we got to adjust to the time of playing a day game after playing a few night games in a row. That always throws you off a little bit. Going on to the academy always throws you off a little bit just because it's different. It's a lot of fun, really cool experience. But if you're not careful, like you said, they're a team that can get hot, and they play way better at home than they usually do on the road. So, and they do some different things at home as well. So our guys are definitely, like I said, they're going to have to be locked in. Every game's going to be a dogfight. And I expect some close games, even from some of the lower-level teams. It might not be Air Force, but I think even UNLV and teams like that are towards the bottom, we just got to be locked in every game because you never know what can happen on the road. And Air Force is just a weird atmosphere. It's just different, and we've lost a few times there when we weren't ready to go. So our guys got to be ready. So
we'll have that next Wednesday, and then Saturday, the night of the 1st, they'll be at home against San Jose. Jalen, we'll talk to you next week. Merry Christmas to you and Jimmy and Mom and brother and everybody in the family, okay?
Okay, thank you. Same to you guys. I appreciate it.
All right. That's my good friend, Jalen Moore. We always appreciate him joining with us. John Russell and I will return. We'd love to have you can call in at 753-5868, or you can use the text line, which is 339-0321, 435-339-0321, as we have game day on KVNU just getting started with the Aggies win tonight against Portland State. The final 81-62, and we will be right back.
What are you doing for your home medical supply needs? Hi, I'm Jay Broadbent with Alpine Home Medical. We sell the highest quality products in the industry, and your shopping experience with us will be unmatched. Get out and enjoy freedom with one of our many different power chairs. We'll make sure you have the best experience possible and that you can bring wellness home.
Alpine Home Medical, we bring wellness home.
Cache Valley Bank's newest branch is now open in Preston. I'm Lance Zollinger, and I'm excited to announce Cache Valley Bank is now open inside Stokes Marketplace. If you're an existing customer, you'll love the convenience. If you're not a customer, we'd love to have you open a new account with us, or even talk with us about a loan for your farm or business. Cache Valley Bank, a community bank where decisions are still made locally, now open in Preston. Cache Valley Bank, member FDIC.
West Point Dairy Products at Hiram is hiring. West Point Dairy Products has been manufacturing high-quality butter for over 25 years in Cache Valley. They're currently expanding and want you on their growing team. West Point Dairy Products offers competitive wages for entry-level positions starting at $18 per hour, full benefit packages, double time on Sundays, a $2,000 sign-on bonus, and tremendous opportunities for growth. For immediate consideration, call Express Employment Professionals at 435-213-9595.
All right, folks, you've waited for it all year. Anderson's Seed & Garden's Christmas Blowout event is on now. Save 40 to 80% off all Christmas items in stock. That includes trees, ribbons, garlands, and wreaths, ornaments, and much more. Also, they have clearance markdown items starting at $1. All sales are final. Also, it may be winter, but it's never a bad time to learn about gardening from a master gardener. Their gardening classes start in January. See store for details. Come see what's new at Anderson's Seed & Garden in Logan.
Advanced Heating and AC, the gold medal winner in the Best of Northern Utah, is teaming up with Carrier Heating and Cooling. Carrier provides you with the best furnace units available. And now is the best time to buy a new unit before the weather turns Cache Valley cold. Financing options are available. Turn to the experts at Advanced Heating and AC and Carrier. Advanced Heating and Air Conditioning at 752-7272. Stop by at their showroom west of DI. Online, advancedheating-ac.com. Hey, this portion of our game day is brought to you by My Mattress, always wanting you to sleep on an IntelliBed or a Tempur-Pedic mattress. Sold only at My Mattress. It's time for you to sleep exceptionally with the help of My Mattress. John Russell with me, Al Lewis, and Aggies go into the Christmas break now with a 9-4. So what do you think about the preseason, John? 9-4, what they have done so far.
I think had we asked you at the beginning of the year your thoughts on
Go
it,
through
if you
game
were,
by game?
yeah, would we be at 9-4? And I think there were some games that we didn't think we would have gotten.
Think you would have beat Davis?
Yes.
Okay. The Richmond game kind of up in the air. You'd think you beat Penn. New Mexico State neutral. I would think you'd win, but again, not. But Oklahoma.
I think you would have lost one of those two.
Yeah.
You would have lost to either New Mexico State or Richmond.
Oh yeah, one of those two.
And the Oklahoma probably not.
And Oklahoma not. So then you'd come back and get Arlington. So that you'd have 3 losses already,
Mm-hmm.
and then you'd get. But you wouldn't think you'd lose to Davis, but then you'd lose 1. Maybe you'd only have 2 losses there. Then St. Mary's at home. You'd think, gosh, maybe we can win that one. BYU don't beat them, so you got 3 losses. And I thought Weber State would be hard on the road, and then Iowa. So we might, maybe 9-4 would have been about in the range. It would have been 8-5, 9-4. I would think most people would probably go.
I would agree with that, and I think the key is there though is that how we played. I mean, you take away that Davis loss, and all of a sudden
we make a few free throws.
A few free throws there. Same thing against St. Mary's. Clamped down on them a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden, we're doing better. I'm happy with where we're at. I'm kind of intrigued with this game, though, that we played tonight with the different lineups. That's, what does he do going into Air Force?
Because I'm going to say this. I really do like, as a person meeting him and watching him, R.J. Idle Rock. And Coach knows him better than we do because he's had him. We have not seen him have a game like Shulga did tonight yet this year. A productive all-around game.
You got to look at, he is your number 2 guard. He's your shooting, your scoring guard. And we've not gotten that production. That goes back to your keys to the game with Jalen. Somebody has to step up. And RJ, again, clearly Coach has confidence in him, but we need somebody in that number 2 position that's willing to put the ball on the floor, go hard, go to the basket. And with what we saw with Shulga tonight, he may be your guy.
And he also, again, Shulga got the 7 boards and did some other things and all. And that we need to pause station identification just quickly.
News and talk around the clock.
I listen to you all the time.
News Talk KVNU Logan, 610 AM at 102.1 FM.
Ben Al Lewis, John Russell here. We're hoping to, again, Jake Ellis up at the Spectrum should get a player or players, and Coach Odom post-game, and then we'll share that with you. We'd love to have you share your thoughts. Again, the text line, 339-0321, or, again, our phone number is 753-KBNU on our Aggie Call postgame. So let's go back into talking more about this because, again, I just don't think R.J. Idle Rock has gotten his confidence. You just don't feel it yet. He had the one game, New Orleans. I think he scored 14, and that's about it, I think.
Yeah, and really it's what he's not been able to finish at the basket. That's kind of what I've seen. He's been able to take the ball. He tries to go deep, and you look at him, he's kind of a big guy. He's got some bulk to him, but he just doesn't seem to have the confidence of the basket. The other one, and I hate to throw this because I know a lot of fans love him, but Brock Miller, unless he's consistently hitting that three-pointer and really taking some pressure off the inside game, do you have somebody that's a little more aggressive? Now, one of the things that Jalen talked about is loves having Bairstow off the bench. I agree with that. There's nothing more important than a 6-man coming off the bench. With Ashworth and with
I think in
Bairstow,
some ways
you've got two
Ashworth
great
has.
guys.
I think Ashworth has almost played more minutes than Idle Rock. In some ways, it almost feels like in games, and he got his start tonight. But he's kind of been like a starter.
Yeah, without a doubt. And the big thing is, you ask people, would you rather be the first guy on the court or the last guy on the court? And that's where you have confidence with Ashworth. Yeah, he may not be starting, but he comes in, gives you a little boost and energy, and then you feel very comfortable with him on the court at the end of the game.
Didn't have to shoot tonight. He was 2 out of 4 from 3, 2 out of 5 overall, 4 assists in the game in his 6 points in 34 minutes.
But he also, again, we go back to other guys we're helping. Shogo with 18, Bairstow with 11, Forvath with 9. He probably could have more. There were a couple of iffy times he took it to the basket, and I thought he might have gotten fouled, and he didn't. Yeah. But nonetheless, if he's getting that support, Ashworth is smart enough to know, hey, now's not the time I need to step up. Now's not the time I need to take the extra shots. He's just an awfully, awfully smart player. And, yeah, there are people that are going to look at it and say, hey, he played 34 minutes and only put off 5 shots, but he didn't need to.
And the other guy that I still think needs more playing time and he'll help is Z Hamoda. Yes.
Agreed.
I think he still will help. And is there enough room for all of these guys now? All right, go ahead, James. I believe he wants to join with us on Aggie Call. Go ahead.
Hi, guys. Thanks for taking the call. Love the game tonight. Just a lot of fun. I think didn't Bean get 5 threes tonight? Correct me if I'm wrong.
5
He
for
shot
5.
The ball great from
5 for
outside.
5.
Yeah.
Yep, 5 for 5. 11 for 15 overall.
Love that. Yeah. And then just correct me if I'm wrong here. It seemed like our field goal percentage and our three-point percentage was higher than our free throw percentage, right?
It was again. And I think that's about the second time maybe that has happened this year. This Aggie team is scoring more points and shooting. It's the best shooting team in 12 years so far. It's the best scoring Aggie team in about the last 20 or 21 years of Aggie basketball. What's going on right now? I mean, Coach Odom wants to play a faster pace, right, too.
Yeah.
I looked at those percentages and I thought, wow, that's great great field goal and three-point percentage. And I was a little surprised when I think it was 50% on the free throw. So that was kind of disappointing. And then I agree with you guys on the Bairstow. It was fun to see him come off tonight, and he had a lot of energy, and he really gets the crowd going when he goes up there and swats the ball, dunks the ball. I love that energy from him. So I agree with you guys on that.
All right. Yeah, thanks, James. And again, Bairstow is an energetic guy. And the free throw shooting, Horvath didn't help.
No.
He went 1 for 5, and what he got hit the back iron and went straight up in the air and then popped down in. That's the only free throw he did make. Probably the only bad thing he was doing tonight in this basketball game. But yeah, James is absolutely right. 58.5% from the field. 57% from the three-point line, and 50%, 7 of 14 free throws. In a close game, if it's close, got to make free throws. This Aggie team, again, they've had a couple of up-and-down games of free throw shooting. It has been a little bit of a problem for them. All right, going to take a timeout, and we'd love to have you join us like James did. We'd love to have you join us with the text line, 339-036. Let's try that again, 339-0321. And 753 KVNU is our number. It is game day, and we are on KVNU with Game Day, and we'll continue right after this timeout.
This is Teresa with ChemDry, Northern Utah. Daryl and I would like to thank Cache Valley for continuing to let ChemDry take care of your carpet cleaning needs for the past 43 years. Also for awarding us Best of Northern Utah, Best of Cache Valley, and Reader's Choice. We wish you and yours the happiest and safest holiday season.
ChemDry of Northern Utah. ChemDry of Northern Utah. 435-752-6100.
Steven, stop dragging your feet. Don't you give me that look. You've had a bad attitude all day. Now, look, I know you'd rather be with your friends right now, but this has to be done. And either you start cooperating or I'm going to start taking things away from you. And I think you know what that means, don't you, Steven?
Yes, honey, I do.
All right.
Okay.
Watch it.
Bigger isn't always better. At Castalite, you'll choose from a huge selection of pavers and receive help from experts. You'll see just how easy it is to do it yourself. For brick, block, rock, paver, and tile, go where the pros go. Online at Castalite.com.
'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. For the home was built by Visionary Homes, you see. Quality, craftsmanship, floor plan, perfect for me. The children were nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads. Ma in her kitchen and I settled in, my great room, my easy chair, my remote in my hand. When what to my wondering eyes should appear but Saint Nick himself and 8 tiny reindeer.
Why, who built this home? It's so beautifully done.
I replied simply, go to buildwithvisionary.com. Happy holidays from Visionary Homes.
Happy holidays, Cache Valley, from the entire team at Ascent Aesthetics. Ascent Aesthetics is giving back to our local food pantry and giving you a chance to win services for free. Drop off any non-perishable food item at the Providence office and you could win 6 rounds of underarm laser hair removal, a hydrofacial, or a dermaplane facial. Winners will be picked December 30th. Give the perfect gift this year, a treatment from Ascent Aesthetics. Learn more at AscentAesthetics.com. That's AscentAesthetics.com.
My name is John Brenchley. Last year, my father, Lynn, passed away. Our family misses him tremendously. From the first phone call we made to White Pine Funeral Services until he was laid to rest, White Pine helped us every step of the way. The staff was there to guide us through the entire process. They were kind, gracious, and their facilities are amazing. White Pine helped to make the difficult situation of losing my dad into a positive experience where we could remember him and celebrate his life.
White Pine Funeral Services, here when you need us most.
The Aggies are always number one here. It's KVNU Game Day with Al Lewis and John Russell.
Our score, 81-62 tonight over Portland State to get to 9-4. John, do you want to give us the other? There's, we mentioned Air Force got beat by Tarleton tonight. They were on the road, and they lost that one big. Air Force has now lost 3 in a row. That's who the Aggies play next Wednesday afternoon. That game got moved to 1 o'clock Wednesday, like the last week or so. It got moved, so that'll be Wednesday, not Tuesday. At one time, it was listed on Tuesday. There are some other conference teams playing tonight, and then we also had the bowl teams today.
Yeah.
We had 2. Our conference is now 4-0 in bowl games.
Playing good and representing pretty well. It's always a good thing. In the Mountain West, several games that have concluded. One was canceled. Nevada, their game against Grand Canyon, that was canceled.
Oh, and then also, of course, earlier, Colorado State against Alabama was canceled. Yeah. Alabama picked up Davidson and lost tonight.
One, I know.
Yeah, Davidson beat them tonight in a game where they needed somebody to play, and they picked them.
They picked the wrong guys, that's for sure. But in the Mountain West, New Mexico took care of Norfolk State, 68-54. As you mentioned, Tarleton, the Texans beat Air Force. That's a team that went around and made a lot of money.
Remember they gave Gonzaga a good game.
They did, but they win 67-45.
They're now a part of the WAC, as you pointed out to me.
Yep. And then Utah hosted Fresno State. They win 55-50, and again, Utah State winning 81-62. You know, I had a couple of comments squeeze in here before we get some radio. Air Force folks, they scare me every year. Because as bad as
last
they may
year was
seem,
an anomaly to go over there and win by 50 or 40 every time you play.
It's not going to happen, but you are in for a fight every time you play them. And you may go in and win by 15-20 one time, but the next time they'll turn around. They beat somebody every year. Every year they've got an upset or two. We don't want to be the end of
that Walker guy's been averaging about 20, and we've seen him the last couple of years. He's a pretty good scorer.
So that's going to be a tough matchup. Oh, there was one score I forgot to mention. Santa Clara just opened in a can of on San Jose State.
Well,
48-24. That game at San Jose. So that's a tough matchup there. But
here's your high school finals.
Yes.
In the fourth quarter, Madison came back and edged Skyview 67-65 up in Rexburg tonight. Bear River beat Box Elder in the battle of the valley over there in the county battle 61-49. Grantsville is undefeated, and they beat Green Canyon 60-53 on their home floor. Grantsville's a good team. And then Hunter 40, Mountain Crest 28 earlier today. We'll have the Logan Preston game tomorrow night from down at Grizzly Den.
That'll be fun.
That'll be tomorrow night. So the scoreboard brought to you by Les Olson Company. Remember, you can get your free network assessment at lesolson.com.
Hey, let's throw in a couple of football games.
Oh, yeah, that's right, because there's NFL besides the bowl
There
games.
is, but in the Mountain West, in the bowls, they're taking care of business. San Diego State beats UTSA 38-24 in the Tropical Smoothie Cafe Frisco Bowl.
We played that a couple years ago.
Yes. And then in the famous Idaho Potato Bowl, Wyoming 52-38 over Kent State. But you said Levi Williams, their quarterback.
He had 200 yards rushing besides throwing the ball. You know, not a lot, but they didn't have to. I think they had about 400 yards rushing in the game.
When you put up 200 on the ground, you don't have to throw it. And what year is he? Because he's an underclassman.
Oh, yeah. He was only, I think he might even be just a freshman or a sophomore at worst. So he's going to be around for
Wyoming, they always find, some of these kind of guys you're not used to. And this has been the craziest because of all the COVID issues, the craziest week in football. What are we in, week 15? 14? Anyway, whatever week it is.
We're going to 18 or something this year.
It just ended today with two games. The Rams beat the Seahawks 20-10, and the Eagles beat the Washington Football Club 27-17. But then the next week starts day after tomorrow.
Thursday.
Crazy.
So, Daryl's Appliance, again, always worry-free delivery and installation of everything you buy from Daryl's. No matter what, they will install the appliances you buy from them. Hook up to gas and water and haul away your old appliances and get the best ones. And they bring you Max Scholga, kind of the star of the night tonight with his start after the game postgame.
Scholga, top on this one.
Came out not really locked in. I would say defensively, they came out making some shots. And just had to get back in there mentally, and we did it and won the game.
Questions?
How do you feel about your first start this night?
Yeah, first start. Couldn't wait for this one. Very grateful for it. I just didn't really want to think about it that much, because when you start overthinking and stuff, things don't go your way. So I would just treat this game like any other game. So it was cool.
When did you know? When did you find out you were going to be starting?
I found out today in the morning, shoot around. Yeah.
So a little bit of time.
Yeah, a couple hours.
What about your half-court shot there?
Yeah, Brandon started sealing his defender, so I tried to throw it over the top for him. But as soon as I threw it, I was like, oh, this is so far, and ended up going in. I was like, all right, thank you.
Did your teammates give you grief over that, or?
Yeah, they were like, "Oh my God, what did you just do?" Yeah,
Obviously, the scoring was a little. We were unsure about what was happening on that. Did you have any idea about whether it was a 2 or a 3?
Oh no, I thought it was a 3. Why would it not be a 3 if I'm behind the line? You know, there's some rules that NCAA has that I'm not sure of, but I thought it was a 3.
Did that rough start, did that have anything to do with the new lineup? You guys not being used to
I would say so. I would say so, because when you play that many games with the same guys, they have good chemistry, they play together the whole time, start together. New guys, we had to feel each other for the first 2 minutes, and then went our way.
Anything else for Max?
You get a career high in scoring too.
Yeah, I did.
You feel like, 6 of 8, that's pretty good shooting. You feel
right.
That's good shooting.
Yeah.
Your first 2 shots were, I missed it, so you made your last 6 shots.
Right. Yeah, because I used to do that when I was younger, miss my first shots and start think, oh my God, I'm gonna miss the next one. But coach always talks about having short-term memory, just going to the next play. So that's what I try to do.
The Aggie again, Max Scholga tonight, sophomore, Kiev, Ukraine, I should say. It's not Russia. I don't want to get in trouble over that. But his career high was 11 against New Mexico State. So he had 18 tonight. They busted
it out
that.
of the water.
Blew it out of the water.
He did.
It's good to hear from him. And again, it looks like at first they called it a 3. Then they went back and changed it to a 2 after they talked about it. And then after the halftime, they came back and it was a 3.
Well, I'm with Max. I don't understand that. It's, whether it was,
how did they know he was throwing a pass?
The funny thing is, after he made it, he just kind of turned to everybody and lifted his hands up like, yeah, that's what I meant to do.
Yeah,
no problem. I love how though he came out and the first thing he really talked about was defense.
Mm-hmm. And they didn't start off with the 8-0 start the right way.
Exactly, and realize he had to lock down. And I think that's what any of these guys that are going to have to do. You look at guys like Scholga, Bairstow. They had to learn. You want to be on the court. You've got offensive skills, but you need to play defense. And I think we've got some other guys like Hamoda, Dellison. They're going to have to learn. You know what? You can do whatever you can offensively, but if you're not going to be able to lock down a guy on the other end. I watched Hamoda a lot while he was on the court today. I watched Scholga, and their defensive effort was definitely much stronger.
That's great stuff. Again, Max Scholga, good night for him. And what a good night for Justin Bean. I know he scored points against Iowa, but he was, really struggled to get his rebounds, to get into his game and his defense and all of that. He has a big comeback game tonight. We're going to get to Justin Bean and the coach as we continue postgame. Again, you can still use our text line at 339-0321 or 753-KVNU. After we get through all those comments, you can make comments with your own voice on our phone line of our post-game Aggie call coverage as the Aggies win 81-62 over Portland State tonight. We'll be right back on KVNU Game Day.
This is Dave Simmons for Les Olson Company. Every great team knows that you have to train to stay on top of your game. Even top players continue to practice the fundamentals. That's why Les Olson Company offers free IT security awareness training so your business can stop threats before they become a problem. Learn what to do in case of a suspected phishing attack. Don't take risks. Take action with the Les Olson Security Suite. Get your free network assessment at lesolson.com.
We're talking with Jay from Daryl's Appliance. Jay, when did Daryl's open?
1970. That's over 50 years of experience serving local people.
Can you compete with the box stores?
Absolutely. Our electronic price tags are automatically updated throughout the day, which ensure our prices are the lowest available. Also, we have something they don't: scratch and dent appliances.
Why else should we buy from Daryl's?
Service comes first here. We have our service department that backs your appliance purchase.
Daryl's Appliance, a one-stop appliance shop. Daryl's, West on Airport Road, open till 6 p.m. on weekdays and 5 on Saturdays.
Santa's sleigh carries lots of toys for girls and boys, but it's not quite big enough to fit a real building. Northern Steel Buildings can build you that custom building you've always wanted in a timely fashion. They specialize in custom buildings from commercial, industry, warehousing, shop, agriculture, and aviation that's built to last. Schedule a free consultation at northernsteelbuilding.com. That's northernsteelbuilding.com, or call them at 435-677-7300. That's 677-7300. Value from concept to construction.
For 125 years, SC Needham Jewelers is where Utah gets engaged. People from St. George to Rexburg drive to Logan to shop Utah's oldest jewelry store. One major reason is price. When diamonds are compared up and down the Wasatch Front, SC Needham Jewelers is as low or lower than any store in the state. We compete with any 50 to 70% off sales, internet prices, or so-called wholesale prices. Recently voted as #1 jeweler in the best of northern Utah. Monday through Saturday, 10 to 7, SC Needham Jewelers, middle of the block, at the sign of the clock.
Hi, this is Ashley with LSS Insurance. Open enrollment for individual health insurance is November 1st through January 15th. Coverage through the marketplace is still available, with more tax credits making it even more affordable. We'll help you navigate the marketplace, understand your plan options, and complete enrollment and save big. Trying it on your own can be frustrating. Let us help. Call 752-9493. There's no cost to work with us. Having a local agent makes all the difference. Call 752-9493.
It's KVNU Game Day with Aggie Call. Call 753-KVNU or 800-369-KVNU.
An Aggie win tonight to make 9-4 preseason going into Christmas. Team will have tomorrow off, Thursday off, Friday off, Saturday, Christmas Day off, and then they come back and get going again Sunday towards the opener in conference play on Wednesday. They'll have to leave on Tuesday to go over to Colorado Springs. And again, look at this pace then. As soon as they do that, they go over there. They're going to try, since it's a 1 o'clock game, they'll be able to fly out Wednesday night and get back here. And so then they'll have all day Thursday and Friday before they play Saturday night. I mean, you know, if you had to turn around and stay there, if that would have been a night game,
that would have been
then
rough.
you come back on Thursday, all days, travel day Thursday, really getting back. You really only have 1 day before San Jose.
What would you prefer? Would you prefer the 2-game road trips, or do you like this 1-1?
You know, I kind of liked last year. I don't know why. I kind of like going in there and playing 2 games. But, again, the thing is we never got Boise State at home. We only had San Diego State here. We didn't prove that we could beat them down there. So, you know, I think that this is probably still the one thing this conference does do is you rarely get 2 games either in a row on the road or at home. Usually they do mix it most of the time, unless you get into one of those deals where you play maybe Saturday and then you play the next Saturday when you get your bye or something. Sometimes you get that.
Yeah, the only time the Aggies will have this in Mountain West play is at the very end of the season. February 15th, they go to San Diego State, and then they have to go to Boise 4 days later on the 19th.
Mm-hmm.
But then they get New Mexico at home on the 22nd and Colorado State at home on the 26th.
So they do get 1 home stand and 1 road stand, and I think that's what you have to do with 11 teams and the way the schedules go. Okay, we got another Aggie to talk about, and what a monster night coming back. This was his, what did I write it down, 8th double-double of the year. He is the 6th time he's had at least 20 in a game, and he had 29 tonight. Justin Bean. And tonight, again, he is our interview post-game brought to you by Castelite. Castelite always wants to help you with all of your needs as far as tile right now, working inside. Probably can't work much on the outside. But again, if you are building, they're block and brick, also available from Castelite. And, you know, we're not a shot-blocking team. I think we talk about once in a while with Castelite shot blocks. that guy for Portland State, 32, is a pretty good shot blocker. Iman, I think is his name.
Iman.
And they're one of the better shot block teams in the nation. They swatted a little on the Aggies tonight in the game. They had 3 blocks, and we had 1. Our block was by Hamoda, and that was right towards the end of the game. But here is Justin Bean post-game as the Aggies win, and he has a big night and a return.
I was really proud of our team. I think the injury bug was definitely got us. Brock and RJ, they've been big leaders for us off the court, just making their presence felt with their voices. And obviously Max had a huge game. It's why he's up here, with me. And it was just really exciting to see him kind of get a feel for the game and just the flow and show everyone what he's capable of, to be honest. So I thought he played a really good game, really physical game, and made some good passes. And he's a crafty player, so I think that's why fans love him. And then I thought defensively we just kind of let him shoot it right over us. We weren't really being physical with him. And I thought once we got physical, got a few stops, and then capitalized on the offensive end, we were rolling. So it was exciting and good win to go into the break. And like Coach said, we're 0-0 going into conference play. So the real grind begins now.
Questions?
How are you feeling? I mean, obviously you haven't practiced very much.
Yeah.
You must have been feeling pretty good tonight.
Yeah. I haven't practiced really the last couple of days. Just been kind of doing a lot of rehab and treatment, and our trainers have been huge. Leah's been great. And so, just mentally I was in a good place, just knowing that I couldn't control the injury and just knowing that I could just bring some energy to the guys. And luckily I was able to help out offensively as well. So that was a huge plus.
Why was your shot so smooth tonight? I mean, you looked very comfortable as much as I've ever seen it from 3.
Yeah, I mean, it's just been a mentality all year. I feel like I'm shooting well. The percentages, the numbers don't lie, and it's been a huge offseason. Like I said, the hardest one of my career, and something I've really felt like I needed to work on, and it was time. And that's just a lot of hours in the gym, and then mentally just knowing I'm making them.
I think it was your 8th double-double tonight. Is that something you pay attention? Is that something you're chasing after every night?
I'm always chasing after rebounds. There's no doubt about that. But the statistic itself, not so much. I mean, our coaches and players, sometimes they like to joke, and during some of the timeouts, they'll kind of shout some numbers to me, just all in good fun. But, I'm obviously just focused on the game and how I'm playing and how our team's doing. But, it was good to get that accomplishment for sure.
I'll follow up on that. The 3 of the top 4 in the nation right now are old players in the state of Utah. Is there something in the water right now?
Wow, that must be it. Honestly, that or the cold. I don't know. It's trying to find a common denominator. It's tough.
So how was the ankle? Did that bother you? That really seemed like.
Yeah, adrenaline is a magical thing, and so it bothered me a little bit in the first half. I felt like there was a couple times where I came down from a rebound and just kind of tweaked it a little bit. I was feeling some pain, but. Again, the trainers have been really good with me, just knowing that it's safe. That helps me a lot just to be able to fight through the pain. And, I didn't know if I was going to play tonight a couple days ago, so it felt good just to be able to get out there and not have as much pain.
How about the start? Obviously, being out there with a couple of new guys, and it was kind of rough there at the beginning, and then it was all you guys after that 8-0 start.
Yeah, I think, like you said, just gelling different lineups. That's a lineup that we haven't used as much in practice, and getting those 5 guys together on the court. So it took some time to just kind of get familiar with it and trust each other. But I thought that's something we did really well tonight, was just trust whoever was out there that they would execute the game plan. And those guys have been ready. I mean, Max and Steven, they're always ready for the moment. So
again, that is Justin Bean after the game, and I'm just adding it up here, John. He now has 1,111 career points with what happened tonight in the game. And looking at the charts, he passed tonight my good friend Jeff Omar Anderson, and he passed Troy Collier, who was one of the best 2-year guys we ever had, one of the best big men we ever had at Utah State, played back in the early 60s as a kid. I watched him. He's now 30th on the all-time Aggie scoring list. He has Neemias Keita coming up next, along with Burt Cook, and Jimmy Moore isn't too far away, Jalen's dad. The rebound part of things, he is, of course, headed towards now with the 12 tonight in career rebounds. He is now 26 away from passing Brian Jackson to be number 7 all-time. And his double-doubles, he's now at 44. He needs 5 more to pass Greg Grant for number 2. He's going to have to go a ways to get to Marvin Roberts at 55. But, again, those are the places where Justin Bean is in. And I'll tell you what, as far as being a fan favorite, as far as working hard in the game, there's nobody who's ever worked harder as an Aggie basketball player than Justin Bates.
You just need to go back to 3-4 years ago and really, did you think that he was going to be the player that he is? But
I knew he was going to rebound the basketball.
Yeah, and you knew he was the hustle guy.
And the points
on the court.
Points were a bonus, and now.
Well, you look at the 3-point shots that he took tonight, and they were so fluid and so they came so easy to him. He's just a great lesson to kids out there that are listening. Work hard and just never give up, and you're going to get better and better. But he, you listen to him, and not only is he showing it on the court, but you can tell he just understands the game at a different level now.
Boy, is he good.
And, he is a special player without a doubt.
He's as efficient a basketball player in the nation as anybody. Yeah. For what his production is, what he gets done, and how the minutes he plays, and how many things he helps the game in. He's just so efficient. Among the leaders, he shoots great tonight. I think he was 6th in the nation going in shooting. He's going to move up in that department.
Without a doubt.
He's going to get back up there in rebounds as he starts to do these kind of nights as he gets, and hopefully this time off will help that ankle a whole lot. You can tell it still bothered him.
It did, but the thing is, he's the guy that I don't think people understand how special he is. He's the type of player that any coach would take him right now. And I'm not, no exaggeration. Duke, Kentucky, Arizona, any program would take him.
If they turn on the film right now and watch him and they had a chance, you're absolutely right. Everybody loved having him on their team. Got the coach, and we've got more of our Aggie 81-62 win over Portland State tonight, and we'll return with more of Game Day on KVNU after this.
Experts tell us that the 3 areas of balance for proper health are exercise, nutrition, and sleep. This is Ryan, owner of My Mattress, and while My Mattress store can't really help with exercise and nutrition, we can help with better sleep. If a person started today to live a balanced life in health, exercise, and sleep, 3 things might happen. 1, we might throw away the bag of peanut M&Ms that we have stashed. 2, we might get up off the couch and exercise. And 3, we'd come buy a new mattress here at My Mattress.
Cold weather is here. Let the gold medal winner in the Best of Northern Utah's fireplace category help you update your home with Napoleon's full line of gas or wood-burning products. Building a new home? Let the professionals at Advanced Fireplace and Stove design and install your fireplace. From traditional to modern, Napoleon has something for every design and every budget. Install a product that will allow your family to make memories for years to come. Stop by at their showroom or visit them at advancedfireplaceandstove.com.
Don't wait. Plan your New Year's Eve celebration now. There's no better way to get the night rolling than at the Riverwoods Conference Center's wonderful buffet catered by Elements Restaurant. The night kicks off at 5 p.m. for you early birds. Reservations are being accepted from 5 until 9 p.m. for those that plan to keep the night rocking with appetizers, salads, slow-roasted prime rib, seafood, shrimp cocktail, and decadent dessert. Sure to crave any sweet tooth. Start your New Year's off in style with family and friends at the Riverwoods Conference Center. Call ahead for reservations 750-5151. That's 750-5151.
Ladies, many of you will be fortunate enough to find a small but beautifully wrapped package under your tree with a brown satin ribbon and a box imprinted Jerix. The man who put it there is trying desperately to tell you that you are more precious than diamonds, more valuable than gold, and very, very special. Men who come to Jerix believe their wives deserve the best. And whether they spend $49 or $4,900, the message is the same. Men who come to Jerix are still very much in love. We just thought you should know. Jerix Fine Jewelry, 930 North Main in Logan.
Talking about the Aggies. It's KVNU Game Day. Call 753-KVNU or 800-369-KVNU.
All Aggies tonight after the 8-0 start by Portland State. Utah State went 9 straight at that time and eventually led by 12 at the half, actually 13 at the half eventually when they amended the score, and they win at 81-62, the final score. And remember, one more chance for you to get in on the text line at 339-0321, or you can call 753-5868. We heard from James earlier, and we heard from Jalen Moore earlier. We got John Russell with me, Al Lewis, and now Coach Odom, brought to you by Jerix Fine Jewelry. Got a few more days left to make it special and make it Jerix with a great Christmas gift, and here is the coach.
Yeah, great win for us, tonight. Really appreciated all the Aggies that came out to watch us play. I know the students are gone, but there were still quite a few members of the herd there, which was great. Always love having them here, and certainly the fans, local community here supported us well tonight. That was huge. Big win for us. Obviously, going into the game, not having Brock available, not having RJ available, 2 starters. We were worried about Bean potentially playing in the game as well. He played in the Iowa game, and he probably shouldn't have played in that game, but he was just he wanted to play and gave it up for his team for sure. And he feels better now. Thankfully, he didn't practice for 2 days, and that probably helped him a little bit. Leah worked on his ankle. It did swell up quite a bit after the Iowa game, but he wouldn't have known it, watching him out there today, 29 and 12. Obviously, he had the 3-ball rolling, but he still made shots in and around the basket and was really effective and huge for our team. So obviously a tremendous plus that he was able to play. Thought Max was awesome. Max, filling in, in a starter's role there. Steven as well. Steven obviously plays a lot, and that kind of has a specific role for us off the bench. Max being thrust, into the starting lineup, I thought he fit in, really nicely. And obviously his stat line, was tremendous. 18 points, 7 rebounds, really important for our team. Brandon, he didn't have a great night offensively, but, the passing was really good. For him to have 7 assists, your center, you get 7 assists from your center, that's pretty cool. Rylan obviously was Rylan today. 8 assists, played really well. So, and then getting Sean back, adding, losing 2, but getting Sean back, was huge for us, especially in that first half. I thought he came in and gave us a burst. He's just a different type of player than we have on our roster right now. A guy that's really athletic, he can handle and get to the basket. And I thought, he did really well for us. So a good win, excited about it. The theme of the game for us was finish. This is all about finishing our non-conference schedule the right way and taking care of business. And I thought our guys did that. We got off to a little bit of a slow start, which isn't normal for us. But I thought the shots that we were getting in that stretch were good. We were fine with the shots that we got. And they made a couple of threes. Obviously, the percentages don't say that they're great 3-point shooting teams this early in the season, but I think they were a little bit too open. Our guys began to guard them a little bit better, and the shots were a little harder, as the game wore on. So a good effort all around.
Questions? So you grew up around basketball.
Yep.
And so Max's 3, that was a 2, and then a 3 again.
I didn't know the rule.
All that.
Yeah, I didn't know the rule. Yeah, the guy told me initially, he was like, I think that's a 2. Let me go over to the scores table. He said a pass is a 2. And I said, I've never heard of that, but maybe. And we just got to trust you. And then we came out at halftime and they switched it back. Had it been a deflection, a pass gets deflected and the guy's, from 3, right? Gets deflected and it goes into the basket, that's only 2, that's not a 3. So it's not where he's at, but he threw it. It wasn't touched and it just went in the basket. So, I guess it's not up for their own interpretation there. It's a 3. Yeah. Crazy play. Right? Have you ever seen that?
No.
Yeah.
Sean and I were just perplexed.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
I was glad they changed it. It was bothering me.
Yeah.
Brock, is it back? Is it his back?
Yeah, he had some spasms, but he's going to be fine. Yeah, I don't think he could have played today. Like, he needs a couple of more days, to get himself situated again, but he's going to be fine. Yeah, we're obviously being very cautious with that. Anytime you have a back injury and you've got a history of that, we'll be very careful. But we got back at 4 a.m. from Iowa, and he ended up getting diverted over to Salt Lake, and so it was a long, travel, for him. Very physical game. He was in there a lot, and woke up the next morning and didn't feel well. And so Leah's been doing a great job with him, working on him. Saw the chiropractor, and he was just a little bit out of line. So he feels good about it. We feel good about it, and we're hoping that he's going to be fine for when he comes back on the 26th. This little break, extended break, will be good for him.
And what's RJ's?
RJ twisted his ankle in the Iowa game. It looked pretty bad when you look at it on film, and he kept playing. But it got really swollen here as well, and so he wasn't able to practice. Brought him in this morning to test him to kind of see if he could really go today, and he wasn't able to be able to go full speed. So we just said, hold tight and let's get you well, and I'm confident he'll be back.
There we go. We got Coach Odom to tell us exactly what's going on, John, about the health of the team. Again, like you said, we lost 2, but we've got 1 back.
Yeah, we did, and boy, that 1 played well.
Mm-hmm.
I think the good thing is, fortunately, we're in a position where it was, it was a game that the Aggies should have won. They shouldn't have had any problems. So sitting those 2 guys now was as good a time as ever. And with the holiday break coming up, hopefully they. They'll get a chance to rest up. It's clearly the MVP this year is our trainer, Leah.
Leah's good. She is good.
She has been a busy lady the last week or so.
She is about half the size of many of the guys. Almost a third of the size of some of the guys on the team, but she does a great job. She really does.
Yeah, but no, Coach has to be pleased. People stepped up, and I think that's what it does is now it creates a situation where when RJ's back, when Brock's back, how do you split the minutes up? Because you look at Shulga and Bearstone, they've clearly shown they deserve more playing time, and you can't beat it. I was looking at it. I think Shulga's only scored 32 points so far this year, and he ends up with 18 tonight.
Yeah,
just shows that he has the ability to put some points on the board.
He really does. Again, let's see. Do we need to update any of the final scores on the games, or were they all finals?
I think the only one was Santa Clara was putting a beating on San Jose. I'll get an update on that for you. And
okay,
nothing on the mobile app. I think our Aggie fans were just probably or not the mobile app, but the text line. I think they're just happy with the way things went tonight, and probably out doing some last-minute shopping.
Oh, I bet not. I bet they'll be back at it tomorrow, though. That's
yes,
probably
they
what
will.
we'll end up doing. So we're going to do final stats then for Cache Valley Bank. You got anything else, John?
No, sir.
Tonight? Okay. Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Likewise.
You and everybody that's around you. Are you staying the Valley?
Yep. We went away for
Thanksgiving.
So only one time a year. So all my Arizona family's calling in to rub it in. They'll be sitting by the pool on Christmas.
Well, you're supposed to have a white Christmas. That's the way it's supposed to be.
I'd rather have it this way.
That's the way it's supposed to be. All right, thanks a lot, John. Again, Cache Valley Bank with the final stats of the game, and so we will get those in for you right now. And Rylan Jones, we hadn't mentioned the 8 assists along with 4 rebounds tonight. Just had 3 points, 1 of 5 shooting, made the 3. He had 2 steals, though, as well in 33 minutes. And Shulga, the 18, 6 of 8 shooting, 3 of 5 from 3, 3 of 5 free throw line, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, and 1 turnover. And Stephen Ashworth had 6 points on 2 of 5 shooting, 2 out of 4 from 3. He had 4 assists, he had a steal, and he had a turnover. Justin Bean, 29 points, only missed 4 shots. They were all 2-point shots he missed because he went 5 for 5 from 3, 11 of 15 overall, 2 of 3 free throws, 12 rebounds. He did have a steal in the game. He did have 4 turnovers. And Braden Horvath had 9 points, 4 of 8 shooting, 0 of 1 from 3, 1 of 5 free throws, but 9 rebounds, 7 assists, a steal. He did have 4 turnovers. Wagstaff and Zapala and Gillis all played the last few minutes of the game. And the same for Dellison, who missed his only shot. He did have 2 rebounds, Norbert did. And then Bairstow, 11 points in 5 of 8 from the field, missed 2 threes, 1 for 1 at the foul line, a rebound, an assist, and 2 turnovers. And Hamoda had 5 points, 2 of 2 shooting, 1 of 1 from 3. He also had a block shot and a turnover in 14 minutes. And Dorius played 9 minutes and had 3 boards, missed a shot, and had 1 assist. The Aggies shot 58.5%. 57% from 3, and only 7 of 14 free throws, but out-rebounded him 39-28. And again, this really good rebounder, and James Jean-Marie ended up with just 5 boards, and he's one of the best offensive rebounders in the nation. Didn't get that tonight. Aggies had 25 assists and 31 baskets again. They did have 17 turnovers. I wrote down one time too many turnovers. Rylan Jones did get his 17th charge taken on the season in this game tonight as well. And on the other side, they had 13 from Thomas, 13 from Jean-Marie, and 13 from Dawson. So they had 3 13-point scorers. They shot 34%, 30 from 3, 74% at the free throw line, 14 out of 19, and 28 rebounds. They had 13 assists in their 20 baskets, and they only had 11 turnovers on the night. They did block 3 shots. One of the better teams in the nation was steals. They had 8. The Aggies had 7 tonight in the game. Aggies led by as many as 25, and they win the game by 19 tonight, 81-62. So it'll be 9-4, but as Justin Bean said, 0-0 going to next week when we start conference play on Wednesday. We'll have a noon game day on Wednesday, and so we'll be on in the afternoon to take your calls and to talk about it after the Air Force game on the road to open conference play. So those are the final stats in the game brought to you by Cache Valley Bank. Remember, they're in Logan, downtown Logan, front of the mall, North Logan, Smithfield, Hiram, and now in Preston, along with all over other places in the state where Cache Valley Bank is. We appreciate them always with stats post-game. So appreciate always Jake Ellis up at the Spectrum getting the sound back from the post-game interviews. John Russell, of course, Jalen Moore, and Merry Christmas from all of us. Al Lewis will say goodnight on this Tuesday night before Christmas. The Aggies are 9-4, and they beat Portland State. They now lead the series, incidentally, 4-2, and Portland State had won the last 2, so the Aggies broke that streak. So that'll do it. We'll get back to the Jim Bohannon Show here shortly on KVNU on Tuesday night, and we will see you after Christmas with Aggie Game Day next week, and I'll have the Logan High basketball game against Preston tomorrow night here on KVNU right before 7.